Hello everybody, welcome to Blue Goose Garage. The other day I made that video putting the wire on the starter and putting the choke cable and stuff on this car, and I thought that I'd make another video trying to crank it with it also cold. So we're gonna pump, pull out. Not bad. I will say, like I've said before, the fast idle's a little high, but it does work. Pretty much fires right up though, don't it? I will say there's one thing wrong with that choke. When it cranks, it does not open at all. It just stays shut. You have to either hit it before it dies or crank it back. But it is cranking a lot better. We pushed it in all the way, but it's still up on first idle. Feel that it's a little, I can tell that it's a little lean. It's a lot better. It's not as cold as it was the other day, but it wouldn't have started. So let's drive up in the field here and hope we don't put something in the door, you know. You know how when the ground freezes and then it starts to thaw, how that top layers is mud? Well, that's what everything is up here right now. So the car's doing fine, but if I stop anywhere, I'm stopped. Trying to catch the next step down. Yeah, we missed it. Actually, we may not have. The idle's real high on that fast idle. I mean, it's real high. But it does work. Now I say it's real high, it's like 1500 RPM. It's not that high. It's just, not where I'd want it to be. There's really no reason for this car's idle to be higher than about 1400 at the highest. And 15 at this one, 15's higher than it. Well, 15 would work, I guess, but it's just a little high. That it works at all though, that's pretty good, because you got to keep in mind for a long time it didn't have anything. And I talked to Dad about that a little bit. This car actually did have a choke. He never really had a choke on his other car, This one had one because this is the car that his ex-wife drove, and he had to make it to where it would crank. And he said, you just had, every time she'd go to leave, I just had to hope that she'd get gone before it flooded out, because the choke was so tight that it was camming, you know. Anyway, car's doing okay. If only it would, you know, always start like that. You can't always hope for that, though. You can't always get that lucky. It does do a lot better than it was. It's getting dark enough that I really should have my flash turned on, but the battery was down to 20% before I ever even, you know, tried. All right. Crank's good. Well, crank's more gooder than it did before, and the wire, that wire definitely made a difference, and the choke definitely made a difference. I mean, you just heard it. It pretty much fired right up. You might be a redneck if, you know, if your couch is out in the front yard. You might be a redneck. You might be a redneck if your 67 Chevelle's outside during an ice storm. You might be a redneck. So, as you can kind of tell, I guess, I'm trying to do this without cutting anything. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to do that and not ramble on and stuff. I wanted to show you this real quick. I ordered a radiator. It's supposed to be in sometime early next week, but with all this snow and ice and stuff that might be coming in, it's coming from California. It might not make it here in time, but I've got a new radiator in for that car coming. I got a new top hose. After I've changed those two things, I'm going to park this neon and drive this neon, that neon. You know, parking one to drive the other. It's almost like neons and Fiats and Metros and stuff are addictive. You can't just have one, you've got to have multiple. Fiat.
Fiat. Chevelle. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Tell me what you think. You know, happy that the choke works. We'll try that again if it's even colder out here. But, all right. Bye.